Every few years, the headlines return. Whispers of a hidden planet, a rogue world on a collision course with Earth. They call it Nibiru, a lost planet of the Sumerian gods, a celestial body that NASA is supposedly hiding. But here is the real question. Did the ancient Sumerians ever actually describe a mysterious planet coming back to destroy us? Or did a modern myth completely rewrite ancient history? Let's start with the basics. The word Nibiru does appear in ancient Mesopotamian texts, but not in the way the internet describes it. In Akkadian and Babylonian sources, Nibiru roughly translates to crossing or point of transition. It was used to refer to a star, a celestial marker used for telling time, and was sometimes associated with the planet Jupiter or the god Marduk. What it was not described as was a rogue planet, a hidden world, or an alien home base. There is no surviving Sumerian tablet that describes Nibiru as a massive, undiscovered planet with a 3,600-year orbit. That idea came much, much later. So if the ancient tablets don't describe this killer planet, where did the story even come from? The modern myth of Nibiru begins in 1976 with an author named Zecharia Sitchin. In his book, The 12th Planet, Sitchin made some incredible claims. He proposed that Nibiru is a large, undiscovered planet with a highly elliptical 3,600-year orbit. He claimed it was the home of a race of extraterrestrials called the Anunnaki, who visited Earth in the distant past to mine gold and, in the process, genetically engineered humanity to be their workforce. It was a compelling narrative, weaving together ancient astronauts, lost knowledge, and a secret cosmic history. There was just one problem. Scholars who are actually trained in reading ancient cuneiform texts, the Assyriologists, overwhelmingly reject Sitchin's translations. They argue that his interpretations just don't match accepted linguistic readings of the tablets. The planetary diagrams he presented as evidence don't actually appear in any known ancient artifacts. In short, there is no evidence for a hidden 12th planet in Sumerian cosmology. The alien planet version of Nibiru is a 20th century reinterpretation, not an ancient belief. This reinterpretation really took off during the lead-up to the 2012 end of the world scare. Online forums exploded with claims that Nibiru was finally on its way and would collide with Earth on December 21, 2012. The narrative claimed that governments were hiding its approach, and that NASA was actively editing satellite images to cover it up. The chatter got so loud that NASA had to publicly respond multiple times, stating unequivocally that there is no such incoming planet. As their scientists explained, if a planet-sized object were really approaching Earth, it wouldn't be a secret. It would be one of the brightest objects in the sky, visible to amateur astronomers all over the world. But the myth adapted. When 2012 passed without incident, the date simply changed. The planet was just delayed. The theory just evolved. So why do these stories survive, even when their predictions completely fail? The Nibiru myth taps into something incredibly powerful in our psychology. It combines ancient mystery with a deep distrust of authority and a craving for cosmic-scale drama. It blends real ancient names like Nibiru and Anunnaki with modern scientific misunderstandings and classic apocalyptic storytelling. And because Sumer is the oldest known civilization, attaching a profound mystery to it feels almost poetic. But the science, both in archaeology and astronomy, remains clear. There is no evidence of a hidden rogue planet entering our inner solar system on a regular schedule. The laws of planetary mechanics are predictable. A body large enough to disrupt Earth's orbit would have its gravitational effects measured long before we could ever see it. So, what makes this fascinating anyway? The real story here isn't whether Nibiru exists. It's about how ancient cosmology gets reinterpreted through our modern fears and desires. The Sumerians looked at the sky and saw their gods and celestial markers. Modern culture looks at the sky and sees aliens and government conspiracies. It's a different language, but it comes from the same human instinct. We want the universe to be alive, to be watching, and maybe even to be intervening in our lives. In the end, Nibiru, as a rogue alien world, is not supported by ancient texts or modern astronomy. But the myth itself tells us something important. It shows how powerful ancient civilizations remain in our collective imagination. The Sumerians left us writing, mathematics, mythology, and the foundations of astronomy. And thousands of years later, we are still trying to decode their legacy. Sometimes the greatest mystery isn't hidden up in the sky. It's found in how we choose to interpret the past. Nibiru may not be coming, But the story of why we believe it might, that's a mystery worth studying. Thanks for watching.